Winner bracket semifinal. Underdog Cup number 3 continues. We're still in Group A, everybody, and we got our first map, Infernal Shrines. So, the Uwu fighters are going up against No Vision. And, well, I'm curious. Rules, again, as usual. Heroes can only be played once within a series. That will have an impact here. Obviously, as I said before, when we're talking about the Underdog Cup, it is a tournament basically designed to get teams that are in the amateur scene to just involve in tournaments. I really want to incentivize the grassroots team to participate in some of the tournaments here, to get some experience in a tournament environment, and also just show off their skills, and yeah, to show people just some other teams and players that they can familiarize with themselves with. As I said before, as we're moving through the groups and then also towards the end of the tournament, of course, the stronger teams are going to emerge here. And we have actually a similar situation right now, because this is already two Division 2 teams going up against each other. So generally speaking, for the tournament, we have 16 teams in total, ranging from Division 2 to Division 5. The whole goal is to not have the top-level teams participate here, but give a chance to the grassroots. And that's why I work with Heroes Lounge on this one and partner with them on this tournament here. But you can recognize some of the names here. For example, Itrax obviously is somebody that you have seen in bigger tournaments. Now, he is the top player on the side of the blue team of the fighters, and he will definitely have an impact on this. But he plays in Division 2 with his boys here. Akunis the same. So we'll see how well they're going to do here, if they can take No Vision down, or if the red team is going to be successful. All I'm saying is that we are still going to see some solid plays here and also some familiar faces. But generally, of course, this is something that was from the beginning designed to just put a bit of a spotlight also on the amateur scene and give them a shot here. And as I said, I love their passion. These guys have signed up so quickly for the tournament. It's all super nice as an organizer when this actually happens. And whenever we are going into lobbies here, it is just flawless. I have not waited more than 2-3 minutes at the most for anything here. And sometimes you also get just awesome picks like this. We're starting things off with an early Suljin pick on Infernal Shrines. I mean, not gonna complain about that. So yeah, definitely good stuff. And also, if you don't know Heroes Lounge, the link will be in the description of the video. If you watch this on YouTube, for example, it is the biggest amateur league that exists in Heroes of the Storm, based in Europe. But you can also participate if you are from North America or anywhere else. You will have to, of course, play with the ping disadvantage, but honestly, on that level, it's oftentimes very manageable. So if you haven't seen them yet, check them out. Go to their website, have a bit of a look. You can sign up for free. You can sign up as a team. You can sign up as an individual player. It doesn't really matter. And I can promise you, it's a completely different experience in Heroes of the Storm when you play with like-minded people that want to, you know, theory craft a little bit with you, analyze opponents, you know, just have some fun together and try some combos and some strategies. Compare that to just that random shit show that you oftentimes get looking at the matchmaking in game, and yeah, it's totally different. So check them out if you haven't done that yet. I can't recommend that highly enough. Believe me, you're gonna fall in love with the game all over again. And you can see here what that can lead to. I mean, maybe we're gonna cast you at some point in the future in one of those tournaments. But now we have Mephisto, we have Alexstrasza heading into Infernal Shrines. And a lot of melee heroes actually banned out here. I mean, we're talking about Maiev, Garrosh, Malthael, all getting wrecked. I think the Malthael ban is probably because No Vision played Malthael in one of the previous rounds with big success in combo with Ana. So they just were like, well, let's just ban that out right away and not even worry about it. Zula's the side laner now for No Vision on Infernal Shrines. And we get Anduin. Still curious what we're getting at the last pick. At this point, even with Jojo and Zul, I would still expect that we're going to get an AoE mage. Would be the normal pick here, at least. Suljin is going to help you, true, but when it comes to just shrine control and shrine minions, normally you want to have a bit more AoE damage. Illidan and Diablo. Okay, I'm interested. Alright, guys. We get an Illidan pick in game number 1, and we already have Suljin here. Okay, I'm game. Count me in. Infernal Shrines and the Walking Bad. Mage or no mage? What's it gonna be? We have a nice melee frontline for them. Is Sul'jin going to be the only one? Are they going to go triple melee, for example? Are they trying to deal with Illidan somehow? And the answer is they go Tracer. We get Tracer. Definitely not the pick that I expected here. But let's see how it works out for them. Infernal Shrines, game number 1, winner bracket semi-final of Group A at Underdog Cup number 3. Game number 1. I am quite curious how some of these picks are working out for the teams. But over on the left side, we got Itrax on Mephisto, Aldante on Alexstrasza. I swear to God, these teams are just giving themselves now names that remind me of food. We had the Muffin Senpai earlier, now we have Aldante instead of Aldente. VVQ is playing Diablo, at least somebody with a normal name. Akunis with Illidan, and we get Shikish on Dehaka. On the right side of the map, Walking Bad with Tracer, Mr. M on Sul'jin, we got Tano on Anduin, Eraser on Zul and Wurstwilli. Again, more food with Johanna, the sausage boy over here. Yeah. Illidan is going to be interesting here. That triple front line could be rough. And I'm honestly looking a bit at what exactly can be thrown out by No Vision to punish these Alexstrasza circles. And there's not a lot. So for the melee fights on the shrine, I would say the blue team is set up fairly nicely. Uwu fighters are gonna... I mean, they're the favorites. They have some definite names that you recognize right from the start here. So this is something where you would expect them to do pretty okay. No Vision, on the other hand, they had some really nice showings in the previous rounds too. Can they make it to that winner bracket final or not? That's obviously a very different question. It's also going to depend a little bit on some individual performances, like from Illidan, especially once that the map opens up a bit. The Tracer pick, I am not sure what to make of it. Right now, I expected them to go for someone with more AoE just so that they can, yeah, just get some work done on the shrine. Yes, they have Sul. Yes, they have Jojo. But I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for them. You could have argued that maybe a pick into Tychus would have been interesting too, just for Odin. You already have an auto-attacker with Sul'jin, but even Tychus is something that as a pick, I would have preferred over Tracer. Can she really make the difference here? I'm not so certain. Even another melee hero to attempt to maybe add a stun or something to control Illidan a little bit better would have probably been preferable, at least from my point of view. Preference picks obviously are playing a huge role when we're talking about the Underdog Cup. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to see what they're going to do with it. Alexstrasza is obviously working towards the quest completion on level 1, so that as quickly as possible she's going to be able to provide additional globes for the team. As nobody is going to capitalize too heavily on that. We don't have stitches or anything here. It would be kind of fun if they are the ones to, for example, play with Jojo and she went for Laws of Hope instead. But yeah, didn't get that. But we'll see. For now, Diablo is actually in trouble and goes down. First blood, No Vision takes it. Okay. It's also a little bit sad that the team that is called No Vision was not the one to pick Illidan. If anybody has No Vision, then it's him. But yep, the death leading the blind. Anyways, with the first kill against Diablo, they're already rolling down to try and take the neutral camp. First shrine is about to activate too in the middle, and Illidan gets a head start because nobody cares about it. Objective is up and Illidan's just like, yep boys, I got this, I'm on it. And the red team is making some moves towards the middle, but they're pretty late to the party. That's a Zul goes down at the top in the one-on-one against Dehaka. That's more bad news for them. But right here, 16-1, that's a huge lead for the fighters now. Out of nowhere. Yeah, at least, okay, the Shaman camp doesn't make it because it got the aggro from the towers and gets eliminated by them. But we have some very interesting moves, and now an early level 7 talent for the blue team as well. Which gives us, in this case, Unbound. Quest not quite completed for Alexstrasza yet, so you can't fully capitalize on it during that battle. But, yep, 22-18 stacks, and the blue team is now committed. They're starting to come in, starting to do their thing here. Mephisto, huge asset, but Illidan is down. That's another kill. Kill number 2 against the blue team. 2 kills to 0, but still highly likely that the fighters are going to grab the first objective. Alexstrasza with the Dragon Queen already. Yeah, pushes them back here. 38 stacks, 39. They need one more, but they lose Diablo. And now Itrax wants the hit, doesn't get it, dies as well, but the Dihaka picks it up. So, 5 kills to 1, with Alexstrasza also dead. Yeah, worth it? Not so sure. Would have loved the bait over the wall regardless, but obviously with nobody else fighting in, they can easily take that one out. So, I have to admit, no vision with a pretty strong showing on the first shrine, and they are kind of crushing that early game. Part of it is definitely because the fighters realized, oh my god, we are going to lose the fight, but we can still take the objective, and then they just funneled a few too many heroes into that little death trap on the shrine. So now we got the next attack through the bottom of the map. They are trying to steal the camp away, and I think they might succeed. But Zul isn't here. That's a 5 versus 4. So now they're about to lose Jojo. They were not able to steal the camp. They lose Johanna. A little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for the fighters. So they're pushing through the bottom of the map now. Illidan with 3 stacks currently on Unbound. Wants to obviously get that second charge, and will get it eventually. But Tracer is really nibbling on those edges the entire time. She's been doing some good damage. Tracer has connected some very nice bombs and was a huge part of blowing not only Diablo up, but also some of the other heroes earlier on. The pressure against Mephisto, for example, was pretty nice as well. Now we have both teams with level 10 abilities. Curious to see what Illidan is going to pick. Are we going to get Metamorphosis, or just going to go for the hunt and try and play the macro game a little bit? Push those forts whenever they can. And yeah, it's going to keep us guessing for a while. We got Consume Souls for Mephisto. And on the other hand, of course, Poison Nova, Light Bomb. And already they're at the top. Yeah, that's a problem. If Illidan wants to play that macro game, you all of a sudden have Dehaka as a pseudo-global, and maybe even Illidan against you, and he can just sit there all day long and play around you. We've seen, even in HGC, how powerful Illidan can be on a side lane when he's starting to take structures down. And that's a massive issue if you don't have anybody to properly control him. And let's be honest, there's a blind that you can use from Jojo, but when it comes to just raw stuns, which is still the best way to deal with Illidan, they don't have a lot. They have a few, don't get me wrong, but it's not like they can just chain multiple direct stuns on Illidan and just blow him to Kingdom Come. It's not really going to be a thing. And the way that he's already being played by Akunis here is making me lean more and more to him picking Hunt. They can really just push both of the auxiliary lanes, one with Dehaka, the other one with Illidan. Do they really need the pseudo-global? You can argue no. Maybe he just wants to go for more of a team fight, but yeah, we'll see. For now though, he has to work in the next battle a little bit more around his level 7. The timing just a bit off here. Nice engage with the light bomb. Illidan hunts in, immediately says hello. There's last souls now too. Dehaka moves into the backline to try and take out. Oh my god, he connected the ult. Beautiful kill from Dehaka. Gets the connect and takes on Suljin. First the Tong, then shuts down the ult attempt. And now they're even picking up another kill against Zul here. That's 3 kills just as the objective is up. Really nice play by the fighters. That was a big one. That was a huge win for them. Dehaka completely shut down Suljin. Tracer gets killed, and they are just rocking the show there. So Illidan gets a few more stacks also on his level 7, but that was a big, big play from them. Well done. Nicely played. And now, of course, the question, how much can they get out of this? Your top objective, there's a freebie. Couple of structures down in the middle, and now at the bottom of the map, Tracer is trying to deal with Illidan, who is just easily jumping out of this and is gonna quickly retreat, or tries to, and might have a problem in his hand, but now we're good. So yeah, that bomb didn't connect either. And up at the top side, we got the Arcane Punisher now for the team. To be fair, with Ensnare, they have a few more CC tools. We have Ensnare, we got the Amplified Damage, so maybe they can shut Illidan down with that. Certainly, if they get the damage connected quickly, they have a chance here. But another fort, or the first fort, is soon going to fall. And Illidan is now going up against Zul at the bottom of the map. And will, of course, try and work in some additional stacks for his level 7 here. The Punisher has barely taken any damage. 17% of his hit points gone, so that wall will be open. Don't think that the keep is going to take too much damage, but that wall is definitely going to fall. Yeah, no chance for that. 5 kills to 5. And the blue team is starting to get a bit more headway here. 23,000 damage for Mephisto. Suljin is the top dog for now, with 25,000. Tracer actually is in second place. But Illidan, yeah, he can become a problem. The game, the map, it opens up. Distance to safety is going to become more of an issue. He already has his global, can global in quickly if he sees an opportunity, but the team is actually struggling a bit, and Tracer again engages with the light bomb. That has been a problem. Good heal from Alexstrasza. Here's the counter. Illidan says hi, so says Mephisto. That's a kill, and Anduin is gone. That means no sustain for them. Here comes the follow-up on Suljin. They can't quite connect with Tracer in this one, but that's still 2 heroes down on the side of no vision. And Illidan instantly on that bottom fort, trying to pressure this even further. And that obviously forces no vision to just react to what's going on here. With level 16, we now got marked for death. Illidan again sliding through here. 11 stacks now on level 7. And he is getting massive, massive work done here. He's going to fall, but I think they're just okay with that happening. And all they want to do is to just keep the busy, attack the bot lane, pin 2 heroes down while they're attacking the middle. And it's kind of working for them. Lots of damage done on the 2 remaining forts. Illidan obviously used the opportunity also to get some level 7 stacks, even though I think he could have used a few more attempts to try and boost that more. But just generally speaking, with 7 kills to 6, sacrificing Illidan once is not going to break them. And the red team is starting, it's very chaotic, and the red team is starting to have real trouble here. And even without Illidan, they're now losing Anduin. So this is a disaster. Jojo falls, that's 2 heroes down. That's a 5 versus 4 that No Vision just lost. And it's going to result in them losing the fort. And honestly, if the blue team now rotates down to the bottom of the map, they're going to pick up another one. Tracer... Still, yeah, there's the heal. Tracer can't do anything here either. Has to make sure that she dodges the damage whenever she can, but maybe they can get Diablo. Nope, instead Tracer gets eliminated as Illidan says hello. Comes in with the hunt. That's 1 kill. They're going for number 2, and they're going for number 3. It's a triple, baby. That's 3 heroes down, all initiated by a quick hunt on... yeah, right there. Boom. From Illidan on Tracer. And now, of course, with 12 kills to 6, they are absolutely in the driver's seat here. They're setting the agenda of the game. You come with Illidan in again to try and take that that structure out. This is exactly what I talked about earlier. If you want to play side lane Illidan, this is the way to do it. 4 destroyed. All of them gone. Mad momentum. This is where Illidan shines. This is where he thrives. This is what he loves to do. Big distance to safety, control the space, and just let chaos reign. Still not completing the level 7 quest. Once that he does, it's going to make him even more dangerous. They have the next objective up, and the red team is obviously just struggling to somehow stabilize. And the next problem is that level 20 talent. Okay, quick pause from the blue team. Might even be that we have some either connection or disconnect problems here on their side. The fighters are obviously looking at a huge advantage now. I am a little bit surprised that the red team is not fighting for the objective. And I guess they figure it's already too late. But they could have moved towards the middle a little bit faster and maybe contest this. Because the problem that we now have is, what's likely going to happen once the pause is out is that these guys are going to get the objective to 39 stacks. They're going to pause at 39, and then once that they're at 39, they're going to try and get some extra experience on the lanes so that they get level 20. And once that either the red team threatens the objective or that level 20 is available, they're going to take the objective, they're going to take the Mortar Punisher, and then get, with their Storm Talons, a super strong push through the middle, where they're going to try and take the keep out, which is already exposed here. So this one has no towers, no gates anymore. So this is the big problem. And I would have expected the blue team or the red team to do whatever they can to rush into the middle and fight for this one, because this is the only fight, in my opinion, that they're still going to get with level 16 talents on both sides. I think from here on out, until they soak their own Storm Talents, it's going to be the fighters just giving them grief in every single battle and playing very, very heavily around Storm Talents. So maybe I'm wrong, we'll see once that whatever the problem is has been resolved, but for now I think this is going to be a mega powerful push coming in from the blue team, and I'm really curious how their opponents are going to deal with it. And we're back. So apparently one of the guys had some problems with the internet connection and then decided that they would just reset the router real quickly. But yeah, red team is not making any plays. These guys should stop at 39. And they are not. Okay. I would have expected them to wait a little bit longer. Maybe they don't worry about it too much. Illidan could, for example, move down to the bottom of the map and get the minion wave here. But they are pushing in without a level 20. I think that's a mistake. I honestly think just from like a call, they had plenty of time to go to the bot lane and catch that additional wave. They're going to get level 20 anyways, but I think that was timeable. They could have come into that fight with Storm Talents. I think that's a little bit of a misstep here. Maybe they feel they don't need it, but now they're losing, for example. Actually, no, they get the heal through. And Zul dies. Okay, Punisher's jumping in, gets the stun, and boy are they low now. Yeah, that keep falls. There's the level 20 talent, so they kick in a little bit later. Suljin gets murdered, didn't even pop his ult. Gets just killed by Mephisto. And now they can go for the core directly. Mimic is in for Mephisto. That's the Dragon Queen in the house. And, well, that is game. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 goes to the fighters. They take the victory with 14 kills to 6 on Infernal Shrines. And the lead in a best of 3 here in the winner bracket semi-final. GG. We're heading into the next game in a moment. Before we do, once again, a bit of an appeal from my end, guys. You can support the stream for free right now. We got a campaign currently going on with Opera GX. It is the easiest campaign ever. All you gotta do is you download the browser through the link that you can find in the video description, and you watch the video on the browser. That's essentially it. It's as easy as that. It's going to take you a minute, probably less. There's no insane download involved here. There's no game where you have to play to a certain level or anything of the sorts. It's really as easy as just downloading the browser and then watching the YouTube videos on the browser for a bit. Browser is quite nice, has an integrated VPN, has integrations for Discord, WhatsApp, and a lot of other tools that especially targets gamers. But if you just want to support the stream, this is literally all you gotta do. Check out the link in the description, download it quickly, watch the video there, and you're good already. Thanks a lot for the support. Really appreciate everybody that is taking a minute or two to do this real quickly. Thanks a lot, and enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Sky Temple, map number 2, game number 1. Suljin lost, and Illidan took the victory. So, over on the left side, we now have the fighters with the lead in blue. Can they make this a 2-0? Or how is this going to work out for them right now? Over on the right side, no vision. They had a couple of decent moments on the last map, but generally speaking, they were struggling here. The early game was a little bit better for them, and then at some point, the fighters, especially around level 10, were just starting to absolutely crush it. Illidan doing extremely well. Tracer initially was actually not too bad. She had the light bomb engaged, and that put a lot of pressure on Mephisto and some others. But then towards the end, it really felt like her impact really dropped heavily. And Illidan, as usual, scaled well into the late game and had more and more of an impact that helped them to get kills here. Especially with the hunt, they locked them down multiple times. So, yeah. We'll see what now is possible in game number 2. Again, quick reminder. Obviously, when we're talking about the series here and the tournament in general, you can only pick a hero once. So, no option to pick the same heroes again in this series. And, yeah, it will impact some of those guys. For Sky Temple, I mean, what do we already have? Sky Temple is usually a map where you want to play around some globals here and a bit of general control. There are, of course, some limitations to this right now. And I'm wondering if we're getting Fawcett, for example. So, let's see what the teams are actually going to pull off for Sky. When it comes to the bans, this is a very heavy melee focus again. with Hogger now also getting banned out and no vision getting rid of. I know for it. Worried about the engaged tank here. I wonder if we could see something crazy. I always love like cheeky plays. One of the things that I feel is a bit sad that we don't see it again is one of the... There's a Fawcett pick. I mean, I just talked about it instantly. I would love to see something again like Samuro Abathon. I'm actually thinking about making that a bounty for the next bounty tournament. I think this could be kind of nice. It is just like this cheesy, dirty cheese comp that we had for 2 weeks in HGC once because of Monkey. And I don't know why, but for some reason it has a special place in my heart and I would love to see that again. Don't think that it's too realistic. There are certain bounties that clearly in the last bounty tournament were not really interesting to teams that we will likely replace. That's a bit of a shame. But again, in this tournament obviously we don't have bounties. We have a couple of draft rules or one, but nothing outside of that. Varian plus Li Ming. I would ship that. Yeah, Varian has this rough thing going on. I think Li Ming is a much better fit for him than Jaina. I can totally see that. Didn't he cheat on Jaina or something? Like, I don't know. You definitely... She's a little bit cold. Like, she showed him the cold shoulder, and that was a bit annoying for him. Li Ming, definitely not somebody that would happen with. No. So, yeah, Varian, Li Ming, I think, yeah. Muradin Rhaegar. Definitely not chipping that. Even though I have no idea who would be the top dog in that relationship. Rhaegar? Like, I don't even know. Honestly, there's some things where you start talking about it and your brain just says like, yeah, maybe no. But you're already on the path and then, you know, you try to like, yeah, no. Too much hair. Anyways, Anna gets banned. Okay, so, no... This most likely because they actually had in one of the previous years it was Nano boosted Tormented Souls. So now they're looking at Li Ming and they're like, oh, well, they already played with Anna, they like her. If they play Nano boost here, they could boost her. And if you now ban Anna out, that also is a little bit of a soft ban against any potential follow-up on Malthael. So, yeah. We got Stukov. So, Stukov and Vala. Okay. Yeah, that immediately begs the question what kind of build Vala goes for. I suppose, unless... Yeah, no, they're not going to go for double support with this. Unless it's no Uther, but even it doesn't really fit the comp. I think there's a chance that Vala just goes for an arrow build here and doesn't play full auto attack. Now, for the blue team, obviously, we get Greymane. Alright, so that's our damage set. And we have Sonya. Lots of sustain when you're on the temple and trying to take that solo. And that leaves us with our final pick on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Malthael, there's the pick. So they actually did really well banning out Anna, or this could have been a Nano Boost Festival and Fiesta for Li Ming and for Malthael. But with this, we are set. Game number 2, Sky Temple. Let's go. Game number 2, we're in Sky Temple, everybody. So let's get that show on the road. 8 tracks over on the left side with Falstad. Going for those global plays. Also kind of useful when you're fighting over the boss, of course, with a nice gust. We get VQ on Muradin, Akunis on Greymane this time, Aldante. I kind of like the name. I don't really know why. It's not really that clever, but Aldante is kind of funny. He's playing Rhaegar, and we got Shichish on Sonya, or Shikish, which I definitely butcher the pronunciation of. Furious Blow for her. And over on the right side then, Walking Bad on Malthael, we get Tono on Li Ming, as expected, Vala with an arrow build, Eraser on Varian, and Wurstvili is playing Stukov. Coming in with the low blow there. Not really too eager to engage into that fight, as you can tell. Already dropping off from that. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting how much of an impact Falstad in particular is going to have. Well, actually, at this point, a pretty big one. They're going for Malthael. And they're getting big damage in on him. That could even be a kill. Even if it isn't, and it's close, that is going to force a hearth. So that's already a bit of a win at the top immediately. Down at the bottom of the map, 3 man is just rotating around over here. And Vala, poor Vala, not a single stack yet. I mean, we're early in the game, only 1 minute in, but if you are Vala, then obviously you want to really boost this heavily. It has the Master Skin there as well. I kind of like the mount combo too. I mean, it's not the money pick, but then again, what is? But this is kind of working, especially with the colors. I have not seen that combo yet. So, yeah, we're going full purple on this one. But, oh, they're invading the camp and they're stealing it. Malthael is gone and they just stole the camp away from them. Expecting to play for it, but usually it's a trade. This time they said like, nope, we're going to steal that away. Even if Itrax dies, yeah, it's totally worth it. He's not going to make it, but they're getting big damage out of this. That was sneaky. That was a really sneaky play by them. And they're getting Siege Giant value at the bottom of the map at the same time. Oh boy. Smart calls here from the fighters. Yep, so Malthael, probably not going to be too happy about that either. Nice damage at the bottom of the map. Structural damage without the objective is always a big win on this map. And of course, as you can see, this fort has already taken some. And not only that you did damage to your opponent, you eliminated their camp, took it away from them, and they can still take their own. So, yeah, that's big. That's a really cool move. I like it. Really nice calls made here. Taunt is now ready for Varian. We get Triumvirate for Li Ming. We got Die Alone for Malthael. It's a little bit mean. Want to be surrounded by friends and family. Teammates. But, yeah, Mirrodin with Reparation. And now it's time for the Shrines. So, already off to a good start for the fighters. But, of course, the first objective is usually going to give us more of an indicator of what's happening. Malthael with the mobility is able to get away. That one was needed. Falstad is still at the bottom of the map, and there's already leading experience for the fighters. But with Falstad sticking to the bot lane just a bit longer, that means that they are likely going to get an early level 7 talent. The initial shots even fired by the blue team. And Mirrodin can easily solo the shrine in the middle. So they're going to go for the exchange. And Falstad is not even making a play. He's not only going for the camps, he's going for structural damage at the bottom of the map. The red team is trying to capitalize on that situation by moving into the middle and forcing something here. Nice taunt. Can they follow up? And the answer is no. Not enough, at least, that is. And while the blue team now has level 7 talents, Falstad is still sticking around and just getting that fort low. But the blue team needs to also take at least one of these. Fort at the bottom of the map is mega low and might even fall. The problem is that Sonya falls too, so Li Ming comes down, Falstad flies up, and they get the quick counter kill against Vala. Okay, so that's a bit of a win for them. If they can drop a second hero, that would be the dream. But thanks to the kill that No Vision just got, they're also closing in on level 7 and get the talent. So structurally, it seems like the blue team is going to pull ahead if they are able to grab more shots from that shrine. But the attack is coming, and they're giving up the final ones. Yeah, they're going to give a couple of the final ones up. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting who takes the first forts out. Falstad gets attacked again, gets immediately followed up. They got him low, and they get the kill. But Malthael also dies. Problem is that Mirrodin is a little bit low and gets also killed. The resets that we're getting for Li Ming here just allow Tano to get lots and lots of value from them. And just, yeah, YOLO one combo out after another. And now they're already in the middle of the map, so why wouldn't they attack here? So, this is an interesting one. There's a lot of damage that is now done by them. And they are getting a lot farther ahead. So they really struggled against some of the calls that were made by the fighters in the earlier stages of the game. Right now, though, they are pulling ahead. Yeah, they're doing a great job on this. 3 kills to 4. And we'll see how this one plays out. But right now, I gotta say, some nice moves made by No Vision. So all of these smart plays that we saw earlier from the fighters have kind of backfired a little bit. Because they struggled in the fight over the objective itself. So, yeah, that's a problem. Down at the bottom of the map, we still got the blue team inching a bit closer to level 10. That's actually a half-level window that they might be able to use. Falstad assisted at the top lane with his global to get a kill on Malthael. And there is a rotation from the red team to try and stop the push for the fort. With 3 of them. There's the taunt. They stay too long. They lose Sonya. You make a good play, you get a bit too greedy, and then this happens. And Forster, talking about getting a little bit greedy here. Look at those ults. Damn, they went for Hinterland Blast. Keep in mind, there's a boss up on this map where a Gust can sometimes win you the battle. So they went Bloodlust, Leap, and Hinterland Blast. So very likely they're gonna try and sync up a Leap with the Hinterland Blast. And of course, technically, you could on level 20 go Crater, and you could go for the upgrade on your Hinterland Blast and just get the two of them together and murder everybody. Technically. Are we gonna get there? We'll see. But, yeah, time will tell. Interesting choice also from Li Ming. Li Ming actually went straight into Disintegrate. I have to admit that I don't understand that choice. You are playing a game... Like, why? You're not up against a Nubarak. Disintegrate traditionally gets only chosen when you are up against a Nubarak because you want to burn his cocoon down. It's always a huge cooldown win if you do that. But if you're now going up against Hinterland Blast, if you go Disintegrate here, you're just toast. So, that's a kill against Li Ming. She's already gone. More pressure at the top. But just imagine you're going Disintegrate and then all of a sudden the Hinterland Blast hits you. To be fair, if you can have you react quickly, then I guess you might be able to dodge it. But that's lots of damage now. The topside fort has taken a lot of damage. They take control over the temple at the bottom, which means that the first fort is already destroyed. And very likely they're going to eliminate now a second one in the middle of the map. So, yeah, let's see. By now, full channel. Doesn't quite take the fort out, but gets it mega close to being destroyed. And there's also one in the middle and at the top. I mean, both of them are so low that they could go for it whenever they want to. But right now, we got Sonya at the top. And the blue team is pulling farther and farther ahead here. There's Vala again. 15 stacks now. Alright, they're trying to keep Varian at bay. Obviously is threatening the taunt over and over again. Has taunt into a lurking arm and then quick damage from particularly Li Ming, I suppose. So there's that. But at this point, we now have still Falstad flying topside again. They're trying to go for Malsael. And they're gonna get it. Leap and gone. That combo works out really nicely. I think that initially they probably thought that they would use Hinterland Blast as well in that particular play. But they don't really need to. They're making that move over and over again. It just keeps working. Falstad gets the damage out. And that's a kill. So, yeah, that worked very nicely. They haven't even used Hinterland Blast yet. They could use it here. That's a nice little corridor that Vala used with Rain of Vengeance. Muradin... And he gets away. Oh my god. BBQ was really asking for the pain. And somehow survived. So, yeah. Good on Muradin, but he had a bit of the death wish there. A huge death wish. So, the two Division 2 teams here are really making some cool plays. But the next objective is now coming up. Spawns a double temple. And all the forts are destroyed on the red team side. So if you just trade temples from here on out, eventually the blue team is going to win it. Now... oh, Malthael! Yeah, Malthael is getting murdered a bit, isn't he? That is a far cry from what we've seen the last time he was played. Falstad! 18 hit points before he got the shield. Not even close! Yeah, Malthael died 5 times already. Really accustomed to death here. Greymane is channeling the bottom of the map. Obviously, with them now moving in on the temple here, they had at least destroyed a fort. That's something, I suppose. But since Malthael is just now slowly coming back, there's more and more shots fired from the blue team. And they are just getting full control in all of this. And another problem is that there's a massive minion wave, plus catapults, plus also siege giants at the bottom of the map. So that's going to be another issue. Stukov dies in the middle. Oh my god, it's just a full-out disaster right now for No Vision. They're having... I mean, they should rename it to No Hope, because that's essentially what we're looking at. Even the ult from Malthael doesn't net them a kill. And now they lose... Malthael plus Vala, plus Varian, plus Li Ming. Full 5-man team wipe. The entire team is gone. The keep is destroyed, and they're going straight for the boss, which will, of course, go for the core here. Yep, that's massive momentum. 12 kills to 5. Level 16 talents as well. And just an utter disaster in that last encounter for no vision. So this is looking bad. This is looking really bad. It's an early game boss, though. It's only 11 minutes in, so you might not be able to go straight for the... Well, you should be able to do some core damage, I guess. But you might not be able to straight up take this one. But they still have shot. Oh my god, not only do they kill Stuko, but they still have shots in the middle. I didn't even realize that they didn't fully channel the temple yet. So that's another keep that is about to go down. And they're playing around the bottom of the map with the boss now. And the shield is now... Okay, it should be regenerating. And no, it's not going to be fully regenerated. So, yep, that's a problem. And it's a huge one at that. Leap and bye-bye. That's a double kill. Falstad with big damage here, 33,000. They go again for the red team, and the fighters, ladies and gentlemen, are moving on to the winner bracket final of Group A. Fantastic performance here in this series against No Vision. A big victory on Sky Temple. GG. Well played.